Well, hello and thanks for joining us today. Biased media is a problem in our society and something we need to work on.
Today we're going to be showing you how to detect bias.
Throughout this video, try to see if either of us are incredibly biased. We want you to know we came off with the strategy and trying to implement a different view on to help you catching biases.
From politics to personal stories, the truth is always at heart. Take a step over the pebble-filled creek, past the boulders, climb the cliff, and arrive. Welcome to The Rock.
Well, hello, and thank you for joining us today on the best and most honest news out there, The Rock. We're in Rockland, California, talking about the 2016 election. We're gonna play different sides. I know me and Orlando stand on different sides of opinion. You got your computer, I got my computer right down here. Orlando, let's kick us off. Tell me, Orlando, what do you got for me today?
So I'd like to start with the problem of Trump. Now, in the New Yorker, they actually made an article that stated how Trump's election was nothing less than a tragedy for the American Republic, which is something I could not agree with more. And it also stated how it was a sickening event in the history of the United States and liberal democracy. Again, couldn't agree more. What do you think?
I think that's not true at all. I think liberal media has screwed who Trump is. Talk about NBC. NBC was quoted saying Trump has also been accused of breaking quite a few laws himself. When he was talking, Trump was talking about, accusing other people or telling other people about some laws that were broken by other political people. And so they were saying that Trump has been accused. Now they were using this like it was fact, even though this hadn't been proven at the time, and it's not true, and it's dangerous to be able to do this and not have any repercussions. MSNBC screwing the media.
Let's go to the facts.
Trump is a felon. He has been to trial. They have found evidence in his Florida house on how he is a felon on secret government documents. In fact, he was counted on 34 felony counts of this matter, and this was brushed over. I found this when I was divulging into my research. He was actually accused during the 2016 election using hush money to try and influence the election.
Back to the show, but I feel we'll see you soon.
So the New York Times writes an article in 2016 talking about gay rights. It's a difficult and touchy topic for our society. Let's get into it. So they say that giving the president-elect at the time and current U.S. president a spin that he expressed a desire to reverse many of his political gains. So talking about some of the liberal agenda that was in office before him of Obama and how they worked for gay rights, and talk about how those were gains. I think that's dangerous for identifying those as gains. If Donald Trump is trying to work against it, that maybe isn't where America stands and wants to be. Donald Trump's opening a new era. I know that you were bringing in, I believe was it Jay Brown?
It was Jay Brown. He is a spokesman for the Human Rights Campaign, and he actually told me that the nation's largest gay rights organization said its office had received calls throughout the day from frightened people who wanted to know what the election might mean for them.
So the election, fearing, getting frightened, making people feel frightened about rights, opportunities. I just don't know if that's the direction we want to go. I understand that's a lot, but America's a big country.
Goodness gracious, we meet again.
Nico brought up a point about how gay rights in America have been shadowed upon and how we don't want them, which just isn't true. There are tons of people, and at least half of America out there, who are actively fighting for gay rights.
Hopefully they have better research going forward.
Orlando, you got some words for us, some quotes. I'm not really an open guy. Try to make your case.
All right, now, according to the Vox, the 2016 election exposed an America of deep divides over race, ethnicity, and culture. It has become a nation carved into two large coalitions, roughly equal in size, but radically different in demographics and desires.
Okay, so the quote that you just pulled in the article, they're using buzzwords And they're using things that are just not true about President Trump. Like it said from the same article, from the beginning, Donald Trump's campaign for presidency was fueled by an undercurrent of racism and bigotry. Racism and bigotry? That's never been seen before in Trump's campaign. Trump has been truly for Americans, right? He says they're portraying Trump as this guy who's out of touch with reality, saying that they said that Trump called Mexican immigrants rapists who are bringing in crime and bringing in drugs. Well, guess what? There are Mexican people coming to the U.S. who are undocumented and committing crimes, and that's a danger to our society.
But do you really think he should stereotype all Mexicans as rapists and bringing crime and drugs into America?
The president I voted for, the perfect man that he is, know what he was saying and did it on purpose.
I think it's only getting worse.
Orlando did say that Trump is a racist, but then Nico brought up the fact that he isn't. There are people that have said stuff, and Trump has said stuff. When I was researching, I found out that Trump, during his 2016 four-year term, he actually passed a bill to fund $150 million to HBCUs. An HBCU is a historical black college. Now, if Trump was truly somebody who was racist, I don't believe he would be doing this. But he does have racist quotes that have been proven.
Okay, boys, we need to wrap this up.
Well, thank you for joining us today. It looks like we are gonna be out of time, but Orlando, I would like to give you the last opportunity. Say some words. I'll respond maybe. I want to hear what you got to wrap us up today.
I'd like to say that Trump is a tyrant and a felon, and liberals have portrayed him perfectly.
You're using buzzwords here again and again and again, just like liberal media. You can't stray away from your party. You can't stray away from truly the liberal party of being, and the Democratic Party of being a negative group, of being a group that's not about truth, a group that's just trying to trying to put in new ideas, progressive ideas that aren't what this country was built on and not the tradition. Anything in response, or do you want to end it there, Mr. Orlando Martinez?
Alrighty then, let's clean this up. Any last words?
Whilst you were watching this, you might have noticed one side was more left, one side was more right. During this whole presentation, we were trying to portray on how the media is swayed. When you go to research stuff, you're going to see a lot of left, and you're going to see a lot of right. So we wanted to portray that here.
Thank you for joining The Rock.